Alright, I think 7 stars have been a great addition to the game, and it's mainly because they have helped revitalize some very old champions that kind of fell off for a bit. And here I have 5 champions that fit that role perfectly, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first up is Venom, and Venom holds a special place in my heart because he was my first ever rank 2 champion, and I think Venom fits this role perfectly. I think he was a very solid champion when he first came out, like buffed. When he first came out, like in 2015, it was pretty terrible, right? But like the buff in 2018 was a pretty good one for him. He was honestly a top tier cosmic character. But as time progressed, he kind of just fell down the card a bit. He wasn't really used as much. And then Venom Pool happened, and Venom Pool kind of just, took away all that glory, right? But with Venom as a 7-star now, the roles have reversed. I think Venom is more talked about now than Venom Pool because Venom is more accessible as a 7-star champion. And Venom has been doing a ton of work for me. He's great in questing, he's great in battlegrounds on both attack and defense, surprisingly. Like, he gets a lot of kills on defense, it's honestly insane. But yeah, Venom's just a great champion, but here's the thing. Before 7-star Venom, I didn't think too much of him. I thought he was just like, okay, I just thought he fell off completely, which he kind of did, right? But as a 7-star, he was just revitalized, and now he's a pretty cool character, and he's a great pull to get as a 7-star champion. And I think he is ranked 2 worthy as well. So yeah, Venom has just been a pretty big surprise for me. And next up, we have Gamora here, and Gamora is a crazy story. Released in 2015, was terrible back in 2015. Got buffed like 3 times. First 2 buffs were just okay. The last buff was pretty awesome, but here's the thing. People didn't really realize how good the buff was, so that kind of was unfortunate. But another thing was that people didn't want to rank up a Gamora because there was a ton of cosmic characters at that point. There was Hercules, there was just a lot of different cosmic characters. And here's where everything changed. When she was a 7-star, and when you pull a 7-star, they are like a rank 4, rank 5 champion. So there is pretty much no resource investment there. So we got to see a Gamora just for free, pretty much. Like, just pulling her, and we unlocked her at a pretty high rank. And that really showed us just how good she was. Her damage output is just really solid. It is really fast as well. So she is just great for battlegrounds. Her questing value is really strong. Like in Brutal's challenge, she was just an MVP there as well. She has a lot of use in like Act 8, Act 7, and she is just a great all-around champion, I feel like. So yeah, Gamora, really surprising character here, but honestly just a phenomenal champion overall. And now we have number 3, which is Storm Pyramid X. This character had quite the story. So in 2020 she dropped, and she had some very mixed reviews. She was called a worst Havoc. She was called some pretty not nice things, right? And she kind of just fell off pretty much instantly. There is almost no hype towards her. It was all towards Sorcerer Supreme, who now is a 7-star too, by the way, so that's pretty cool. But also, Storm didn't really see much use until 2020 when Apocalypse came out, or like later 2020, sorry. She came out in, I believe, April, and Apocalypse was about October of 2020, so that was a pretty massive time period. I'm sorry, I thought it was Storm Pyramid X, so I just said pyramid instantly. Time period, sorry. But yeah, when she came out as a horseman, she got a lot of hype because she was pretty dang crazy, but then that wasn't enough still to keep her relevant. She just fell off pretty much instantly afterwards. So that was unfortunate, right? But then as a 7-star, she has been reborn again, and she is just an absolute monster. Her damage output is phenomenal. When she crits, she just crits so hard. And the best part is, with Stat Focus, you crit pretty dang often now. And in Battlegrounds, she is just a great 2-way champion. She is still super annoying on defense, and her as a 7-star really showed that because, yeah, she is super annoying to fight against, and she has great value on the attack spectrum too. And overall, she has just aged really well, and that is a great thing to hear because her start was a very rough one. She was pretty much like downplayed a ton. It was just not a fun time for her, and I'm glad that she now has her justice and she is now regarded as a pretty good character. I am seeing a lot of rank 2 Storm X's, and for good reason. She is just a very strong character. And now number 2, is someone who also just has a pretty dang tragic story. So Mysterio, when he first came out, or before he came out actually, he was being pre-hyped to the core. People were saying that he was going to be the new Damage King, the new Poison King. He was going to be a new top tier character. He just had so much hype. And then he came out and people realized that they misinterpreted his abilities. And so he kind of just fell off instantly. It was a very, very not fun time. Mysterio just didn't live up to expectations, so he was just relegated down the card pretty fast. And he was just like, he wasn't a top tier tech ever, honestly. And this persisted for a while until he was announced as a 7-star. 7-star Mysterio has been one of the biggest turnaround stories I've ever seen. He is like so popular now. He is just so popular, and for good reason. With Battlegrounds, this man is an absolute menace because one, he is a very strong Domino counter, and Domino is easily a top 5 hardest defender in Battlegrounds. She is an absolute pain, and he is also a pain on defense. This man as a rank 2 7-star will just do so much for you on attack and defense, like it is insane. This man has so much value now and is a very popular rank 2 candidate, and for good reason. Great quester, like I said, great for Battlegrounds especially, which is pretty dang important. Like, this man just has a lot of use now and he is just really valuable. And with the Penny synergy, he goes absolutely haywire, and he is great for some Karina's challenges as well. This guy has it all pretty much. And number 1 is Sunspot. Sunspot has just had the craziest comeback I think ever, to be honest. When he first came out, he was dominating the mutant class like no other. Like, he was just the top of it. He was so popular, he was used so often, he was just the king of questing, of Alliance Quest. You can just use him anywhere, and he would be just a godsend and a half. This man had it all. But then other mutants came out. 2020 hit, and he just got pretty much slaughtered. There was the likes of Magneto and Magneto X. There was the like of Professor X and Apocalypse. There was just a lot of new mutants, and then there was 2021 with Kitty Pryde and whatnot. There was just a lot of new mutants that he just couldn't contend with. And with Battlegrounds not being a thing at the time, he just didn't really have a place in the game. But then 2 things happened that just changed Sunspot forever. 1, the release of Battlegrounds. This man is probably the best mutant in Battlegrounds, I think. Yeah, I think he is, besides like Archangel. He just has so much versatility in Battlegrounds, and his damage output is just one of the best out there. He is just so good in the mode, and then he came out as a 7-star, and that just solidified him as an all-time great. He was just so good as a 6-star already, but then as a 7-star, things just changed. Like, things just changed completely. As a rank 2 7-star, he is just one of the most like unreal champions to ever exist. He is just that good. And before this, Sunspot was just irrelevant. He wasn't talked about ever. He was just there. He was just a pretty mid-tier champion. But now he is just at the top. I think he is at the top at this point, and it is just a beautiful turnaround story. But yeah, this is my list of the biggest like turnarounds of the 7-star champions, like the 5 characters that just were once regarded as pretty mid or just fell off completely and are now reborn as just some amazing top tier 7-star champions. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on who you think has been reborn as a 7-star character, and yeah, that's about it for me.